We ought to love one another, because from amongst us, there was nothing that was going to come. We were going to die in the sea, chained by colonizers as slaves. I speak to you now. There are many African bodies that are still trapped under the sea. They are fighting. The soul has not rested. Imagine dying, being chained. You can't even fight, even when you know I will not survive. But you ought to fight a little bit. Die knowing I tried my level best. Bodies under the sea, which wanted to be what you are, and were told nothing will come from you.
Positive sharing is caring. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, sons and daughters in the continent of Africa and those who are in diaspora, I want you to listen to this speech from Julius Malema, and I'm always used to share these speeches, this kind of speeches, which is preaching about the unity of Africa. Also, Julius Malema speaking about the conflict, about Congo and DRC. Take a listen to this speech, and then at the end of the video, let us know your thought in the comment section.
Today, you look at a fellow African, you listen to the pronunciation of a fellow African, you listen to the name and the surname of a fellow African, and by that you isolate them. You look at them and say, these are not South Africans. These are Nigerians. This can be Miss South Africa. This can be that. Marfel Yoon can be a player of rugby, South Africa, and get celebrated. No one will dare to question, where does this surname of Felyoun come from? Because we've been made to celebrate that which looks down at us. Anything that looks like you, you hate. Anything that sounds different from you, you hate. You know, comrades, the concept makwere comes from the tribalists who could not hear the other ones. When you speak, the tribalists, they say they don't hear you, but because they can't hear your language. When you speak, they hear. So you can't use that. You can't use that to want to rule out individuals. Comrades, we are hated everywhere else in the world. Everywhere else where black people are found. It doesn't matter their accent. They can speak the best English, they want to speak best accent. As long as the color of their skin looks like mine, they will be isolated. You get isolated to a point where even when you go to China, a young person who has never been exposed to a black person, when they see you, they start trying to clean you. But it looks like you are dirty. Because that's how we're being looked at. So where do we get the privilege with so much hate happening against us? Where do we get the privilege to hate on each other? If the unity of Africa is not important, why are they fighting against it so much? If it was this useless thing that has got no meaning, why is there such a big fight? They know that the only way they could conquer Africa, they had to divide it. They divided Africa. They gave it to all types of countries to manage. Our coming together is a threat to Europe. It's a threat to America. Our coming together, it means one currency backed by our mineral resources. And that currency will be against the dollar. And it will be more powerful than the dollar. Our coming together means one parliament, which means there will never be pockets of dictators who take over governments in Africa through a barrel of a gun. Why? There is one body which makes laws for the whole of African continent. There are no separate laws. There is one president for the whole of Africa. There is one military command in the whole of Africa. When they say they are rebels at the border of Rwanda and DRC, we call on the African command to go and make peace at that part of Africa without asking for the UN to come and help us. The unity of Africa will mean that there will never be a company called PRASA which will die. Because PRASA will be extended to the whole African continent. We'll make sure we build railway lanes and deliver our people everywhere. Why should ESCOM struggle when there are lots of parts in the Eastern Cape, South Africa, and all over Africa without electricity? ESCOM can give electricity to all of these people. And where do they buy it from? From ESCOM. Who owns ESCOM? It's us. We don't want, we want borders. Hey, why do you want borders? We don't want to sell electricity there. And then come back and say, we are unemployed. The higher demand, the more jobs we are going to create for this economy. ESCOM can, if you don't want to go into the whole of Africa, you can give the whole of Southern Africa, which was colonized by one person, Cecil John Rhodes. He managed the whole SADC alone. Why are we failing to manage the whole SADC ourselves? Not through colonialism, by providing services to them, by allowing free movements of goods and persons, and by allowing one African passport. People say, Malema says, borderless Africa, he wants people without documents. How can he want people without documents when he's got documents himself? Because it's supposed to start with me. If we are in a struggle for not having documents, we must do like Mandela did and go and ban these IDs. One continental passport means that we must all be documented. And there must be an African system on where do we find each other. You can't commit crime here and run to Swaziland. We will find you because we've got an integrated system of Africa. So fighters, we have a duty to educate these people who hear the message, by the way, but still want to behave like they don't hear us. Why? Because the division of our continent benefit the imperialist forces. So we want to say to our comrades here, please, let's continue to advocate for the unity of Africans and for academic excellence. We must not be inspired by criminals and want to steal masters like the Premier of Eastern Cape stole a master's in Fort Hare University. We don't want academic dishonesty. You must go to school and don't be like these people who are leading us now. You are going to go to jail when you are old. You must ask, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula. When you think crime pays, you are going to be arrested when you are powerless and old. So quick, you can be rich now. But long term, all of that will be reversed within a day. So let's work hard because we want to command the economy of South Africa with skilled people. We want to nationalize the banks. We want to nationalize the mines. We want to run strategic industries in the economy with skilled African people. We don't need white supervisors. We need skilled Africans for us to run a successful economy. We need you to go and revive Dinel, which used to be one of the most strategic companies owned by South Africa. Today, it has collapsed because of corruption. We must fight crime. Everywhere else, crime raises its ugly head must be dealt with. Mkhwanazi, the Commissioner of Police in KZN, that is the man for the job. Criminals do not hear theory. That's why they ran away from school. So they hear the other methods, which is what Mkhwanazi is applying. So let's make sure that we fight crime and we fight GBV. Because we cannot be a society that is known for beating up women. We cannot be a society known for beating up children. We cannot be a society that is known for being a capital of rape in the whole of the world. Fighters, this university has to be safe. A girl child must walk here at any time without feeling threatened. We need to invest in the security of this campus. And if any company comes here and it doesn't want to look after our children, we must fight very hard to insource our security guards and hire capable security guards who are not going to be driven by profit, but by the security of a girl child. When we say a girl child must be safe, then you know automatically a boy child is safe. Because it is only the girl child who's under threat as we speak now. Fighters, we are happy that this corrupt ANC government has listened to us and cut that middleman of NSFAS is now going to pay directly the money into the universities. That is not enough. We want NSFAS not to exist anymore. Money must come straight here, and then money must come straight to your pocket. If you are a beneficiary, you ought to receive the money in your pocket. These allowances of students must be received directly by students in their own pockets. Why? Because beneficiaries of SASSA have got SASSA cards. They don't receive it via. They are given directly the money. Why are you giving the student via?